Dave's grandparents moved here in 1935, and they farmed here for, I guess, 8 years. And then Dave's parents moved here in 43, and they farmed here until 66 when John, his dad, passed away suddenly from a heart attack. So then his mother continued to farm for a few years with an older son. And then we bought the farm in 70.
70, yeah.
And then we moved here in 72. We had been in Edmonton for 3 years prior to that, but Dave's been here all his life other than those 3 years. We went into grain farming and stayed with that until 79. And then we sold some land and we sold all our machinery and decided to take up cattle farming.
While we're farming, we ran a mechanical business on the farm. Actually, we had a shop in Moosson for about 3 years, and phased out the mechanical and went into construction. By the 80s, we were building houses.
But it always hasn't been easy. We went through the high interest rates in the 80s and drought in the late 80s and 90s. And then, of course, BSE hit us hard in 2003. But we hung in. So he kept working harder.
Just put in more hours, that's all you do.
And we managed to get through it. And then just in the last few years, we were thinking, well, maybe we'll sell the cows and slow down a bit, and then that was it. We decided the cows are going, and then the machinery might as well go too. So we sold the cows in the fall of 2012.
What really changed our mind was probably, the cattle, the farming industry didn't pick up with inflation, eh? Right. And we were always going to just retire with the cattle. But it didn't make a lot of sense. Our machinery was in good shape, and, the cattle aren't picking up at all. So you might as well, let that end go and just kind of concentrate on, something that pays type thing, like still build a few houses and stuff like that. But it's always a hard thing to know what to do, at the time.
Well, we've had our challenges over the years, but we've raised 3 kids here, a daughter and 2 sons, and I don't think they're going to take up farming. The grandkids like coming out here. Lots of running room and always cats and dogs and things to do, so. It's been challenging but rewarding to farm
Very
here.
Good life.
It's been a good life, and I'm glad we could raise the kids here. Yeah. Auction went off excellent. Just excellent. Yeah, we couldn't have wished for anything better. The weather was good, and a good crowd, and lots of buyers that you need.
And I wasn't even worried about it. I didn't lose any sleep. I lost a bit of weight. Maybe we should have dragged it on a bit.
Maybe we should have another one.
Because you work so hard to get everything lined up and make sure
cleaned up and fixed.
And like our kids really help. Like our son-in-law is really good mechanic, and he come down on about 3 or 4 weekends, work 3-4 days, and the grandkids work hard. They wash stuff, and so it really worked well.
And having it right on the yard here too, I think. Different people said, well, maybe have it, and we're like, no, we farmed here. This is where the sale's going to be, right on the yard.
I didn't have a clue where to put stuff.
Lyle. He come around and he showed us how to set stuff up, and
just excellent. No,
he was excellent.
Set it up here like this,
he was excellent.
And it worked. Like just kind of did what he said and ad-libbed a wee bit, and turned out okay.
Yeah, everything went off really well. Spend the time getting ready. Clean everything up. Make sure it's all working. And you won't have a thing to worry about the day of the sale. Because even the day of the sale, I was relaxed. I never felt any pressure because I knew all of our stuff was in good shape. It was cleaned up and it was all in running order. And I basically knew nobody would come back and say, well, this thing isn't working.
And it's the last thing you want to sell is something that's junk, or something that looks good but it's going to fall apart, everybody that come to look at it, I was honest. I said, this old stuff, it's not going to be perfect, but we'll get everything kind of going. And everything was basically going, but sometimes you get busy and you don't always fix everything like you should right away. So with an auction, you have that chance. You got that chance to work on them and get everything fixed and working like it should, eh? But
and it wasn't a real good spring to start early because we still had snowbanks, big snowbanks in May. So, you know, to dig all this stuff out, it's like, okay, we got to get at this.
But I'm glad we went till that June sale.
The middle of June sale. It was excellent.
Yeah.
Just an excellent time to have it.